Hi there, my name's Sergio Stroke, and I'm with Regent Seven Seas Cruises, and I'm excited to be chatting here with you all today. Before I dive on in, I just want to give Emma a big shout out for putting this together. We have a really strong relationship with Emma, with a passport to travel. So thank you so much for being a client of Emma's. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope to share with you some new and exciting things with Regent Seven Seas Cruises. So diving on in here, my name is Sergio Stroka, and I'm with Regent Seven Seas. Been with the company for about 6 years now, and being with the company now for 6 years. For those of you who may not be so familiar with Regent, maybe some of you are. We are part of the Norwegian Cruise Line family. So Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings is our parent company. Oceania Cruises is a sister company of ours, and Regent Seven Seas, we are small ship luxury cruising. So we'll get into here. But the reason I showcase this screen with you all, for those of you who may have sailed with Norwegian or Oceania or sailed with them consistently, keep in mind that as of about a month ago, we now you can enjoy your status across our sea of brands. So let's say you're a gold member with Norwegian, you take a Regent cruise, we'll give you all the gold benefits on that side and vice versa. All right, so just shows you that as long as you're sailing with the Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings family, we are going to be happy. But for me to be extra happy, would love if you're sailing on board Regent. And trust me, once you get on board, it's going to be very difficult to get off. But want to get in here a little bit as to who we are, what we pride ourselves in, right? So at Regent, as I mentioned, we are ocean luxury cruising, and one of the most standout features of Regent is that we are the most inclusive luxury experience at sea. And I know you hear that quite a bit, right? Everyone's becoming a little bit more inclusive, throwing the word around all inclusive, but we want to make it very clear that we are the most inclusive product out there. And I'll showcase here that with you in a quick second. But not only that, we have our four brand pillars listed here that really help define who we are, right? Well, if you were to ask me, why should I be interested in taking a Regent cruise? This would be what's called my 1 minute elevator pitch to you all. So the foundation being we're the most inclusive luxury experience at sea. Then we get into immersive exploration. We visit over 550 ports around the world. Since we have smaller ships, we tend to visit also some smaller niche ports, less visited by the larger cruise ships. But we include free, unlimited shore excursions in every port of call. You can take one, you can take two. Depending on some destinations, you can even take four or five, and I'll share that here with you toward the middle of the presentation. Number two being heartfelt hospitality. We pride ourselves in having the best uh, uh, industry professionals on board, and not only that, is it's nearly a one-to-one guest to crew ratio. So you'll definitely feel that when you're on board. Once you recognize some of the staff, they'll recognize you, etc. It's a very luxurious feeling. Number three, since we're talking about luxury, luxurious space. I'll dive into that quite a bit here because that's one of the big things of Regent that we can't necessarily showcase. It's something you experience when you're on board, but I'll do my best to try to share with you all what this means, luxurious space. But just to highlight it, we're 100% suites, all balconies. Um, and when you're on board, I mean, it doesn't feel like you're on a cruise ship. There's never a line, never a worry, whether you're getting into a restaurant, getting on or off the ship. I mean, it's a true VIP experience. And last but not least, right, something that's always been very important, but it's been extra highlighted over the past several years is Epicurean perfection. We pride ourselves in having um, award-winning cuisine at sea. That's a guarantee. You will not go hungry on board any of our ships, right? And not just the quantity, it's the quality of food that we have to offer, right? So I mentioned we're the most inclusive product at sea. And what does that mean? When when Emma books you on one of these cruises, you have the opportunity to book two cruise fares, right? One is the all-inclusive fare, and the other one is the ultimate all-inclusive fare. And I'm going to showcase with you just a few of the of the inclusions, right? Many more things are included. These are just the things that are we wanted that we have to mention. So as I mentioned, unlimited shore excursions are included. Of course, we do have some premium excursions that you can choose from. They come at a cost. Those are the more elevated, adventurous, premium excursions. But even our free ones, I mean, I've taken close to 10 Regent cruises. I've maybe paid for one excursion in all those sailings just because it was a helicopter ride in Alaska to go on a glacier, right? So we have a plethora of great free options. Number two is unlimited drinks, whether alcoholic or non-alcoholic. Prepaid gratuities, no tipping on board. You, of course, if you want to, that is up to you, but we don't encourage it, we don't expect it, etc. Number four, unlimited Wi-Fi. We also have Starlink across our fleet. Then we go to dining. Specialty dining is included. All you need to do is make a reservation prior to sailing in our multiple dining venues. 24-hour in-suite dining, unlimited access to spa facilities, and probably the most important, because it's a new one and it's become a fan favorite, is the free valet laundry service. I mean, not only do you have to pack lighter when you get on board, you can if you want, but when you come home, pro tip is 2 days prior to the sailing ending, you just give the laundry team all your clothes and you ask them to have it folded and wrapped up in this lovely tissue paper. So when the last day of the sailing comes, you have it all there. You just pack your bag, and when you get home, you don't have to do any laundry. It's really a very nice touch, very comfortable. No one wants to be doing laundry during their vacation. Some people do actually. Some people do, but the majority of people do not. So it's a nice touch. The ones on the right, pre-one night hotel stay, we include a pre-one night hotel stay if you book a certain category, a concierge level or above. And then butler service is included for penthouse levels and above. Those are the only asterisks of it. And last but not least, if we go into the ultimate all-inclusive fare, that's the second cruise fare. That just means you want to do airfare. You want us to take care of your air. You can choose any class of service, and we're going to include door-to-door transfers. So we'll pick you up at your home with a black lane transfer, as long as you are 100 miles away from the airport. Excuse me. Up to 5 luggage pieces you can take with you. Once you get to the airport, you fly out to the destination. We'll pick you up in a coach transfer, most likely, or independent transfer, depending the destination, and take you to your pre-night hotel or to the ship, depending how you booked. And same thing on the return. So it's a full door-to-door service. In the event you don't want the black lane transfer, we'll give you a $500 shipboard credit, right? What can this shipboard credit be used for since we're all inclusive? It's actually quite easier to mention what's not included, right? So the premium shore excursions, you can use the shipboard credit for that. Spa treatments, spa services. We have a casino on board, but no shipboard credit can be used there. And last but not least, we have a culinary arts kitchen on board. Those are the main things that you could use the shipboard credit for. But let's get in here. I want to show you some pictures, show you some visuals of what you can expect to experience on board Regent. So we're known for having the world's most luxurious fleet. And as you hear me, you're hearing me say luxury a lot. I'll talk a little bit more as to what I believe luxury means on Regent, right? We all have a different definition of luxury. But our fleet is no larger than 850 passengers on board. We have our Explorer class of ships, which have about 744 passengers. And then we have our three other ships, which are Voyager, Mariner, and Navigator, 700 passengers, 700 and 496. And soon to come in 2026 is Seven Seas Prestige, which is going to be remarkable. I'm going to show you some quick pictures here as we go along. I want to speed it up a bit. But to give you a visual, right, of one of our ships, how we look like compared to a Royal Caribbean ship, a Norwegian cruise line ship, etc. There we are, the one with the arrow pointed down to it. It looks like someone took away some of the slides and got a shrink ray gun and shrunk us down to size, right, to fit in there. But that's how we look, right? We are tiny but powerful. I took this picture in Alaska last year. We're the ship on the right, and that's another luxury cruise ship on the left. This is where we're going to highlighting the luxurious space that I mentioned earlier. what does that mean, luxurious space? It's very difficult to showcase it. I'm going to show you some pictures now, etc. But how are we able to to be good on that promise? So our ships, this is the Explorer class of ships. Half of our fleet is 55,000 gross tonnage and 750 passengers, give or take. It's really huge in regards to space to guest ratio. I know those are just numbers, but when it comes to industry standards, huge, right? 750 passengers, 55,000 gross tonnage. You look at the ship on the other side of the port, it's a competitor, won't name the name, but it gives you an idea of what industry standard is. That holds 700 passengers, just 50 passengers less, and has a gross tonnage of 31,000, almost half the size of this ship. So, I mean, whether we're talking about all our suites that are very, very spacious, or the common areas, the multiple dining venues, entertainment venues, etc., that's how we're able to showcase this because we have a lot of gross tonnage for our ships. So let me quickly highlight with you some of the suites we have on board. This is the entry level suite. This is a deluxe veranda suite. Entry level has a walk-in closet, has a balcony, and we're talking about anywhere from 310 square feet all the way up to 350 square feet, depending on the actual room selected. But that gives you an idea of what entry level is like on board Regent. Um, then we go to the category right above. This is the Serenity Suite slash Concierge Suite. And in my personal opinion, if you want to really be wowed, this is the category that we should start off at. Why? So this suite is 332 square feet plus a balcony of about 130. So there's just one. We have the deluxe veranda, then we go up to the, I know it doesn't mention here Serenity, but this is Serenity and Concierge Suite. Um, the main reason, I know it's showing the living area and the bedroom area, but the walk-in closet in this suite is ginormous. I mean, you could basically have a party in there of how big it is. You could walk in there, you have so much clothes, it's for like a world cruise. And the bathroom is double vanity, separate shower, separate tub. I mean, the space in here is remarkable. As I know I mentioned, if the Serenity Suite and Concierge Suite are the same exact suites, the only difference are some of the benefits. With Concierge, you get that pre-night hotel package. So if you want to go in a day earlier, definitely book the Concierge. You also get some additional perks like priority shore excursions and priority dining reservations. So keep that in mind. If that's important to you, Concierge is the way to go rather than Serenity. I'm going to speed up here going to the penthouse suite. The penthouse suite is the first category with your own personal butler. Additionally, it's the first category that has a separate living area and separate bedroom. So that's something you value, that space between bedroom and living area. Let's look at the penthouse category. Um, then maybe you want some more. Sorry, going back to the penthouse. The penthouse is 450 square feet plus a balcony of 100 to 200 square feet. So it's anywhere from 550 to 650 total square feet. And this is middle of the road on board Regent, right? So it only gets bigger from here. Then we go up a couple categories. We have the Splendor Suite. Now we're talking about some more size. Here, the square footage of the suite is 655 plus anywhere from 160 to 260 square feet of balcony. So if you get one of those larger balconies, I mean, this is 900 square feet. Really great for if you value space and maybe you're just traveling with friends and family, etc. You want an area to entertain as well. But maybe that area is not big enough for you. We can look at the Grand Suite. Here, the Grand Suite, look at that big old living area. It's anywhere from 850 to 1,000 square feet living area, plus a balcony. This one really depends which one you book. From 300 square feet all the way up to 900 square feet balcony. So I know the big balcony is the one on the back of the ship. It's a huge wraparound. It's remarkable. So if you're really about entertainment space, etc., this is the suite to look at. Then if you're traveling with some family, want them in the same suite, etc., the Signature Suite. This suite is about 1,000 square feet, and the balcony is about another 1,000. So it's about 2,000 square feet. It's the first category with 2 bedrooms. So two separate bedrooms if you're traveling with, if you need that second bedroom for any reason, you may. Also has some of these larger suites, by the way, that we went through, have that a second bathroom, 1.5 bath. This signature suite has two full bathrooms. And last but not least, I'll be remiss if I don't mention the Regent Suite, right? This is a one of one suite on board. It has a total square footage of over 5,000 square feet, right? 5,000 square feet. It is the most luxurious address at sea. The inclusions with this suite, look at that private jacuzzi on the balcony, etc. Has two Pablo Picasso paintings, part of the suite. I mean, you have your own private dining. It's the only suite on board where you have your own private dining venue on the ship, and you can order from any restaurant. You can invite up to, it's a room that accommodates up to 18. So if you come with family, friends, or maybe you make some friends on board, you can invite them, etc. But truly a one of one suite. And with that, that leads us into our new generation of ships, Seven Seas Prestige, which is launching next year in December. So we have to wait about 12 months for the ship. But talking about space, right? One of the things with Regent, it's all about space, space, space. So I mentioned the other ships, the Explorer class of ships, have 55,000 gross tonnage. This one has a 40% increase up to 77,000 gross tonnage. And the passenger count is increasing by 10% up to 822 passengers. You imagine that? So 40% increase in ship, a 10% increase in passengers. And we're going to have new dining concepts, new categories. I want to quickly showcase with you some of these newer categories, right? Give you a good overview of the other one. This is Starlight Atrium. But look at it. This is the Regent Suite. This is that one of one suite. The 5,000 square feet was not big enough. 8,794 square feet for this suite. If you're interested in this suite, whether to book it, to learn more about it, go to YouTube. There's a video, type in Regent Seven Seas, Regent Suite. There's a 4-minute video on this new Regent Suite that's coming out next year. I mean, remarkable. Then we have this new category of, so it's a two-level suite. Another one is the Sky View Suite. This is also one of the larger suites, anywhere from 2,000 to 1,300 square feet. Lovely area, living room, has an elevator right here to go up to the second floor. Because the hidden gem with this uh, lovely bedroom, bathroom is that second floor. Look at the second floor. Private terrace, private jacuzzi. I mean, it's completely open view. It's remarkable. I mean, this new category of ship is really gonna revolutionize luxury cruising, what it's meant to be. And last but not least is the Grand Loft Suite. So also two levels, floor to ceiling windows. I mean, it feels like you're in a New York loft, right? Instead of overlooking Central Park, you're overlooking any part of the world that you wish to be overlooking. So really, really remarkable, these ships. Uh, Going into some of our luxurious spaces, right? One thing, as I said, I was going to touch on it, is luxury, right? What does luxury mean for you, for me? What it means for me when it comes to Regent is it is laid back luxury. You don't have to dress up in formal attire. You don't have to put on a blazer every evening. You can if you wish. We do have guests that do that, but it's very country club casual. It's a relaxed atmosphere, but you're in a very high-end setting, eating with fantastic cuisine, decor, etc. Um, and and space. That's what I believe we mean by luxury, not a stuffy environment whatsoever. And just to show you some of the indoor spaces, right? There's multiple lounges where they play live music. We have specialty restaurants, spa, and a casino as well. So uh, not definitely won't get bored on board one of our ships. And last but not least is our great Constellation Theater. We have Broadway-esque performances on board almost every evening. The evenings that we do not have those shows by our production team, we fly in entertainers, whether musicians, artists, comedians, magicians, etc. So always this every evening something to do. But look, I mean, full-size theater. It's remarkable the space, what we can do with these ships. with only 750 passengers. Quickly, highlighting some of the places I told you, I gave you a promise that you won't go hungry on board, right? So our first specialty dining venue is Prime 7, which is a steakhouse. Then we go on to Chartreuse, which is the Parisian French bistro, arguably my favorite restaurant. Then Pacific Rim, which is the Pan-Asian cuisine. So prior to sailing, you can make one reservation per restaurant. So it's, let's say you're going on a 14-night sailing, you make one reservation in the Prime 7, one in the Pacific Rim, one in the Chartreuse. And then when the sailing is over 10 nights, I mean, I highly recommend once you're on board, going up to the maitre d', showing up to the restaurant on the day of, and asking, hey, are there spots available? There's always spots available because they hold some of that inventory for the top suites since they're guaranteed a reservation every night. And many times they don't go there every night, right? They end up going to the Compass Rose, which requires no reservation. This is where you can eat every evening. Um, I mean, fantastic cuisine. We have one menu that stays the same that has filet mignon, lobster, New York steaks, etc. Then the right side of the menu changes every day. It's a chef menu. Um, then we have the settimari at night. So it's the buffet, general buffet during the day. Majority of things are cooked to order, but we call it the buffet. And at night it becomes the Italian restaurant. So many places to eat. It's fantastic. Wanted to showcase with you. We mentioned the attire, right? I mentioned country club casual. So before 6 p.m. we have resort style bathing suits, shorts, warm-up suits, jeans, any pretty much as you would before 6 p.m. is the daytime attire. Then evening attire is slacks, dress shirts, sweaters. For women, pantsuits, dresses, skirts or pants with an elegant top are acceptable for women. But what we've included now is refined denim and well-maintained dress sneakers are also welcome for both men and women. I mean, simply put, we made this change about a month or 2 months ago. When you go to a restaurant, whether in any metropolitan city, as you would go, we want you to be able to dress up like that as you when you're on board, right? So that's basically the dress attire in the evening. As you go to a restaurant in your city, that's the same way you can come on board our ships. Quickly highlighting what a day is like on board Regent, right? Start off your perfect day. You order room service breakfast as the time that you want, or you go to one of our many breakfast spots on board, whether the Compass Rose or that La Veranda spot. We have some breakfast. Then you go off to your free unlimited shore excursions. A lot of times, since we're smaller ships, we're in port for 10, 12, 14 hours. You can take two excursions. As long as you have a 60-minute window in between each excursion, you can take multiple free ones. We don't limit you to just one. Then you get back on board. Maybe you have as I mentioned, one of the few things that's an add-on. Maybe you want to take one of the chef-led culinary classes that we have. Maybe you go eat at the pool grill. Maybe you enjoy the pool, the sauna, whatever it may be, but multiple things to do. Maybe we always have an onboard lecturer across our ships talking about the destination we're in. So plethora of different things to do. As I mentioned, the spa and the evening time. You go have a lovely dinner, and right after, let us entertain you, whether at the theater, maybe at one of our lounges with live music. But as you can see, a plethora of things to do on board. Which leads me, so for many people, the destination is the ship, right? But for many people, the destination is where we're going. Sometimes it's a good mix. I'm a good mix kind of individual. I love the Regent product. I mean, I started with the company I mentioned 6 years ago, never been with any other cruise line, and I can't go anywhere else because once you sail on Regent, you are hooked. You're hooked. And for me, Regent ship has become a destination, right? But also where you're going is very important too. And where do we go? We go all over the world, as I mentioned. Here are some of the top destinations that we go to. We visit over 550 ports around the world. So whether you want to go to Canada, New England, and see the fall foliage, um, Perhaps mm, maybe South America, maybe a cruise down the Amazon, right? Um, and see the breathtaking natural wonders it has to offer South America. Perhaps Australia and New Zealand to discover the world's most breathtaking coasts where wild beauty meets refined adventure. Perhaps Caribbean Panama Canal, whether you want to take a relaxing Caribbean cruise. Typically for us, they're from November to March, right? Or you can take advantage of our longer voyages, which are the Panama Canal sailings. Maybe you start off in Miami, go all the way down the coast um, of Central America, go through the Panama Canal and finish off in LA. That's a longer voyage. If you're very popular itinerary, if that's an itinerary that interests you, and I give you a heads up, not only for Regent, but we're talking about Regent, so let's stay on topic. Book far out in advance. Those Panama Canal sailings sell out quick and far out. Um, let's see a few more destinations. Maybe Africa and Arabia. You journey through ancient deserts and modern marvels, combining exotic mystery with region's signature sophistication. One of the things to keep in mind for the vast majority of the destinations that we sail to is we do offer pre and post land packages, right? Maybe we have a we have a few sailings in Africa where one of the points of going to Africa is doing a safari adventure, right? We have that to offer. So keep that in mind if you're booking an exotic destination. Alaska. I went to Alaska 4 years ago and I thought beautiful. I wanted to check it off the bucket list and never return, right? I've been back 3 times. If you have not done Alaska, you have to do Alaska, and I will be shocked if you don't return again. It is incredible, right? Once you see a glacier for the first time, some of the largest glaciers in North America, I mean, a loss of words. And keep in mind, let me go back to Alaska. 70% of our first time guests that sail with us go with us to Alaska. Why? Because of the free, unlimited shore excursions. One of the reasons to go to Alaska is to see the scenery, to see the glaciers, the wilderness, etc. Every time I've been to Alaska, I've never paid for an excursion and I've seen every animal you want to see, every glacier you want to see, etc. I mean, it really isn't the price. You can go on any other cruise line, pay X amount of dollars to get on, but keep in mind you're going to spend thousands of dollars on shore excursions. Might as well just book experienced Regent at the high end level. The price point of Regent is all up front, and it's going to be the same or comparable price to another line and a much, much elevated experience. So keep that in mind if you haven't done Alaska. This really is for every destination, but Alaska is our biggest value add where you see the most value for excursions. The Mediterranean, who doesn't want to go to the Mediterranean? I did a lovely 14-day itinerary last year. Started off in Monte Carlo, went all the way down the French coast, Spain, Morocco, went back up to Spain, France, and ended in London. I mean, I could do that itinerary every year for the next 30 years and be so happy. It was incredible. Northern Europe. I'm gonna finish up here. So I want to showcase with you one specific itinerary. Asia. Asia is very popular. Maybe you want to do we have these 14-day Tokyo round trip sailings. Also, book those far out in advance, not only for airfare, but because they tend to sell out as well. South Pacific, um, and maybe the shortest region cruise is 7 days. You won't find a cruise less than 7 days. Traditionally, they're in the 10 to 14 range, 10 to 14 days. You'll find some 20 days, 24 days, 18 days, etc. But maybe that's not enough for you. Maybe you're interested in a grand voyage. A grand voyage starts off at 60 days, all the way up to our world cruise, which is up to 150 days, right? Imagine that. You embark on the journey of a lifetime. You circumnavigate the globe in elegance and comfort with Regent. I mean, that's a dream. So wrapping up here, I wanted to show you this one. we have 11 of these itineraries. They're all unique, they're all different, and I encourage you to ask Emma about these as I'm thinking of taking this itinerary next year. So if you book this one, keep an eye out for me. Look for my screenshot. I'm pretty confident I'm going to take that sailing next year. So keep an eye out for me. But they're immersive overnight sailings, right? It's a 12-night sailing, 2 days in each port of call. Instead of the traditional 8, 10, 12 hours in port, we're going to be in each port of call for about 36 hours. Barcelona, Palma de Mallorca, Monte Carlo, Tuscany, and Rome. What does that mean? When we offer free unlimited shore excursions, you can you can take 3, 4, 5, 6. How many shore excursions can you possibly fit in a 36-hour time span? I don't know. Let's find out, right? Maybe you don't want to take a shore excursion. Maybe you just want to walk off the ship and explore the destination on your own without having to be rushed back to the ship. Keep an eye out for this one. I'm going to finish up my presentation with this sailing. Here gives you another idea of one of these immersive overnight sailings. 12 nights, June 16th, 2 days in Trieste, 2 days in Dubrovnik, 2 days in Heraclion, 2 days in Athens, 2 days in Istanbul. So finishing up here, right? Promotions, why you should book now. They're never there. This is arguably the most aggressive offer of the year, the Black Friday. And I'll show you here why. We have, if you're a solo traveler, we have over 100 sailings that offer a reduced single supplement, some as low as 0%. As you know, cruising, you always pay the per person fare, whether you're solo or a double occupancy. We have a lot of solo travelers with us. We have a social hostess on board that takes care of the solo travelers, etc. Many cocktail receptions, dinners. So if that's something that applies to you, please look at these 0% single supplement sailings. The Black Friday offer. We have 75 sailings part of this offer, which offers up to 40% savings with offers up to 40% savings with a $500 shipboard credit on top of that. So really an aggressive offer. I mentioned here's just 5 out of the 75 sailings. So some sailings will be at 25%, some at 20%, etc. I told you I'll wrap it up with this. I live life with real life examples. What does that mean, right? You could throw with me any percentage out there, but what does that actually mean? This sailing, I told you I'm probably going on this sailing. I've been looking at it, price point. I love to use it as a reference, etc. Price point for Regent a day really varies. I like to call it give or take 1,000 per person per day. If you find an itinerary that's hot, has no promotion on there, it's gonna be about 1,000 per person a day. Probably a little less, probably a little bit more, but a good ballpark figure. This 12-night sailing was a full price before this Black Friday offer was going for $10,000 per person, right? $10,000 per person times 2. That's $20,000 divided by 12 days. That's about $850 per day, right? $850 per person per day, right? With the Black Friday offer, this sailing is starting off at $6,300 per person, total $12,600. So that is about $1,000 in total a day. Keep that in mind. Imagine you booking a hotel, transfers, dinners, etc. Hotels in Europe, if you stay at any decent hotel, you're spending $600 to $700 a night. Not to mention the food, not to mention everything else included. Why not do it in luxury? Why not do it in the most inclusive, luxurious product at sea? And that is my pitch to you as to give us a shot. You sail with us one time on Regent, you'll never look back. And I look forward to hearing the success stories. With that, I thank you very much, and we'll be in touch. Have a good day. Bye bye.